My grandpa's name was Grandpa Allan, and he was born on August 28th, 1924, in Brooklyn, New York. His parents' names were Anna and Sidney Roberts, and he also had a younger sister named Joan. And when he was a little boy, he liked to collect stamps and play his violin, and he liked to read also. He met my grandma when they were 14 and 15, and they met on a blind date, and like 4 years later, he went to the army to go fight in World War II, and when he was fighting, he got trench foot because he had to constantly wear the same pair of socks through water and mud all the time, so he didn't have time to change them. And went as a private, and when he returned from the war, he became a sergeant. And after the war was over, he could speak English, Spanish, Italian, German, French, and Portuguese fluently. And he also got like a break, I think went to Paris or something. And in 1951, my grandma and grandpa got married in Brooklyn Jewish Center on Eastern Parkway. And after they got married, they moved out of Brooklyn and they moved to Queens. And a year after they were married, my dad was born. And my grandpa used to always take my dad to the museums and like tell him new facts and everything for him. And then, let's see here. And then 3.5 years later, my aunt was born. And since my grandpa wanted to be a doctor, but he couldn't since he was in the war. So then he started going to night school, and he became an engineer after a while. And my grandpa also worked for the government in helping build the moon module. And because NASA asked him and his other workers, if they asked if he could build like a certain piece to the ship, so then he did, and he also got some contracts and everything signed. And after a while, like a few years went by, and my dad was getting ready to go to medical school. So a few weeks before my grandpa died, he bought him his first medical bag, which my dad still has. And then on September 8th, 1975, my grandpa died of a heart attack. And from what my dad told me about my grandpa, he was a serious, caring individual, very particular and detail-oriented.
Just like my dad.
And that's my report.
Fine.
Oh, and also, here's a picture of, I think this is my dad's, who was the last picture they took of my grandpa when they were together. So that's my grandpa and that's my grandma. I don't know when this was though.